Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today we are playing some more Yamato. OP06 is coming very soon, and just wanted to, pretty much I plan right now on playing Yamato and Reiju. So I'm just getting my testing in. I got 3 games today, all against, I think, black, all different black decks. So I mean, definitely one of the better colors in, ever since OP05 going into OP06. I assume still be around during OP07. So yeah, we got some likely meta contenders. Obviously Perona, I do think, will be very, very solid. I believe there's a game against Sakazuki and Zephyr. So yeah, but I am playing the wall Yamato version. I had more fun with this version. I don't know what's actually better, but I'm just a big 8-drop kid enjoyer. Card has always been, I think, like, honestly, I feel like it's the only like real floodgate effect maybe outside of Birdcage in the game, and I think 8-drop is probably stronger than Birdcage. Well, it definitely is in this deck. I don't know. If you could run Birdcage and Yamato, would you? Maybe. Probably. It deals with a lot of blockers. I take it back. Birdcage is really good. But, yeah, I don't know. I just really like green as a color, and 8-drop kid is a lot of fun to me. So, yeah. I also think the green searchers early game for Yamato, like your opponent, they're super annoying for your opponent. Like if they don't play like a 1-drop or like a 2-drop, obviously with the brand new here with Perona, like early on, like they just have to commit a leader swing to like a 1-drop, and you're like, sweet, it's just a free blocker, It's really, really good. Lets you just, again, kind of keep swinging big at their life, and not much retaliation, honestly. But Perona getting a Sabo down is pretty solid. It's going to kind of stop me from just committing super hard every turn. To be fair, I could. Yeah, I could just like swing, 11 this turn. But I feel like he just eat it, and then he's up on board, and then I'm pretty behind. Truthfully, I don't have much board to develop this turn, so maybe I should have just done that anyway. But getting 2 blockers down in preparation for the 8-drop turn, it'll be good. Obviously, we do need to hit them to at least... We need to hit them once to actually be able to play 8-drop on curve and use leader ability. Yeah, one of the blockers was obviously going to get eaten up here. I'm kind of happy it was the Monet, because if the only blocker he has is a Sabo right now, and Monet wouldn't have gotten much value unless he's about to play like a brand new or something. Not a brand new, sorry, a Borsalino. Even on, yeah, I guess that's some value on the Rosinante. Rosinante is it's crazy how good this card feels in like the newer decks, especially Perona. Definitely really good in this deck as well. It's a very good card against like mono black, stopping them from just straight up KOing like your 8-drop kid. But yeah, I'm just gonna swing 5 here and hope that they take this, because if they do, it enables my 8-drop kid, which will be really, really strong. I kind of think they will, yeah, just because they only have 2 cards in hand, and they want to probably defend their board, and countering out of that, there'll be 2 cards again next turn, and then I can probably just clear board if they don't clear my 8-drop kid. But they do take that life, which enables us to do the thing, which is really, really strong. It's just 8-drop kid on curve with Dawn on him, kind of nuts. There was like some niche like scenarios where you could do this in other decks, like Red Green Law. If you were playing 8-kid and you played the 1-drop Nami that had like the Luffy leader effect, you could do that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, this deck I think just does it more consistently. But he gets down another Sabo, so he is walled up. He'll probably, I imagine you swing with your 5-drop Sabo, or you just like swing 9 with leader, and yeah, just don't tap any of your cards. I think either one is fair, but he does swing with the Sabo. I'm probably just gonna give up a killer, or maybe I hold the killer. No, I'm gonna give it up. Alright, fair enough. I was thinking like I could hold it and just counter out of this one, because having only 1 little blocker against Perona is just useless, unless it's Corazon, because Corazon is really, really good in that scenario, where even that if he is tapped, he can still defend the character. Can't defend your life, obviously, but can prevent the character from being KO'd, which is really strong. And I do play the baby 5 there in hopes that I find one. I do not, but I still think it's fine. I think I'm going to end up just playing a second 8-drop kid here, because his board isn't really fighting back too well into the kid, and he's very low on cards. I don't even know if Perona can properly out an 8-drop kid. I don't know if they play Ice Ages and stuff. They might have to do some very jank plays to even like contest the kid right now. Obviously, 10-drop Dofi is pretty strong into kid, not allowing me to get that swing in and establishing a 10k body pretty safely. So I do imagine if he has a 10-drop, I will probably get 10-dropped, especially if I'm playing out 2 kids here, which I am. So yeah, just thinking if I want to play anything free off this kid. Not really. We could play the Bonnie and just save a Dawn for next turn, but yeah, we'll just not play anything. Keep all the counter in hand. Obviously, I'm not worried about dying. We have 2 kids that need to be outed before I die. Well, to be fair, only one does, because it's just the one with the Dawn on him right now. But there is the 10-drop Dofi, which puts us in a bit of a weird scenario. I'm kind of happy he didn't freeze my leader, because that's still an amount of pressure he has to deal with. And right here, I don't know what he's doing. I think he forgot about the 8-drop kid somehow, or thought that like freezing it with Dofi would turn it off or something. Yeah, I don't know. Probably just forgot. But he does pass it over to me. We'll use the baby 5. We find our own 10-drop or Corazon. I think we're just, gonna take the Corazon and just probably swing big with leader or something. Maybe leave some Dawn up for the Punk Gibson. Not a ton to do this turn. Our hand is mostly just counters. We could play like the Onami, which I don't hate, but also makes it awkward because then I have to sack off a character to play the Corazon, which I definitely want to play the Corazon. I do end up playing the Bonnie, okay. I don't know what I was looking for here, but if anything, yeah, it's just a blocker. I guess I could play blockers over like my Frozen Killer and like the Bonnie or the Baby 5, either one. Maybe that's what we're doing. We left 6 Dawn up, so I'm going to say that's probably what we're doing. We're just swinging 6. I imagine, he'll just take a block either with the Corazon or the Sabo. Goes with the Sabo and counters for 1. We'll play a killer over our killer, and we'll sack off the Bonnie for the Corazon. Give 2 rested Dawn to one of our kids and pass. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to defend these kids pretty easily. With the event up, we have how many 2k counters? 6 2k counters and a 1k and 2 blockers. I'm pretty sure these kids are sticking around another turn or 2 as long as he doesn't have a way to KO them. Even then, we do have the Corazon, which needs to be dealt with before the kid. So yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. I think that, I don't know. I think Yamato definitely does do pretty well into Perona. I don't know what version does better. Looking at it this way is that they haven't been able to contest either of my kids for a very long time. I'm going to say that this version might do better. They don't really seem to have a direct answer to the 8-drop. So, yeah, that's pretty good. And he does a leader effect, tap my Rosinante, and then play a Ryuma, which is pretty strong. Just outing one of my blockers. Still have the killer, though, so that's nice. If he just, swings baseline, I'll probably be able to keep my killer and, hopefully get a draw off of it next turn. We'll probably Punk Gibson this and tap the Rosinante because that sounds like good value. We kind of want to swing face anyway. He could swing 8 with his other Sabo and then 10 with Dofi. I feel like he probably won't swing with Sabo because that puts him in kind of a scary spot, against my leader plus the 2 8k bodies I have on board. So probably isn't going to do that. Considering my options here, I'm pretty much out of blockers. And honestly, this killer is kind of useless next turn. So yeah, I think we'll just use the killer now. If we find a Corazon off the baby 5, that'll be nice. He's swinging 7 at my kid. It's a bait. It's a bait. Just in case I, muscle memory countered. You gotta respect it. But we'll use baby 5, get a Monet. So we are able to reestablish 2 blockers, which is pretty nice. We need to kind of divide our Dawn up, so we're probably immediately spending 5 on that. 1 on kid, and leader effect for the other kid, something like that. So, sounds good. Hopefully, either that or I'm just gonna only put Dawn on one of the kids. We'll see. Gonna attack for 8. Just going at life. Kind of hoping he'll use the Sabo here, but he does take, which gives me good value on my kid swings. I can't complain about that. And he actually just scoops it up there. Fair enough. There was 2 pretty big swings coming his way. But next up, we do have a Sakazuki. Another matchup that, again, I think Sakazuki, most of his matchups are always kind of winnable. Deck is just really, really strong. But I do think Yamato does quite well into Sakazuki, because your early game, you kind of get rewarded for not playing much and just attacking really big. So I think that's pretty good in this matchup. Probably still going to play the Baby 5 because, I mean, whatever. Feels a little bit bad he has a Tashigi already, which is absolutely crazy. They gave, like, the best deck of OP05, a 1-drop Searcher, which is, like, just always going to be good support for, I think, any deck. Hey, you know, fair enough. A lot of people, I think, do enjoy playing the deck, but, yeah. It's like they give him a Murakumo, I think is what it's called, which is just Lucci effect, but it bottom decks on a 2-cost event, which is super strong as well. But he's going to play another Tashigi this turn, and then pick up a Virgo, and then attack me for 5. I'll counter for 1. The killers, I opted to use the killer instead of the Corazon's counter, because Corazon is just going to be objectively better in this matchup. It can get removed pretty easily, but can prevent certain removal, which is nice. I was also very surprised he's actually playing Shockwave. I don't think I've ever seen a Sakazuki playing Shockwave, but it's kind of fine because we swung for 9, so he had the Shockwave and then still drop another card. So that's pretty good still for me. We have Dofi, which also will be pretty strong into Sakazuki because 10 drops are always going to be annoying for Sakazuki. I'm trying to think if there is any like super efficient answers. It's like Ice Age, attack with leader, and then you still need usually 1 more card to put it down to like a 2-cost. Unless you have like 7-drop Borsalino, I guess that works too. So you get Ice Age, Borsalino, but always kind of need 2 cards minimum to out it. But we're gonna play down a Bonnie, pick up a killer. I'm thinking about Ezoing here. I'm not sure if it's actually good or not. He is only on 4 cards in hand, and Sakazuki is kind of like notorious for not having many 2Ks. I think I do know he has a Virgo though, so he might just, you know, drop the Virgo to counter out. But honestly, Ezo in Yamato, any of the 3K bodies, like playing out an Onami, playing out the Ezo, don't feel too bad, just because to swing with them, it's pretty much free with your leader effect, you know, as long as they're at 3 or less life, because they just become 5Ks. So I didn't hate the idea of playing down the Ezo, and it's like if he spends removal on it, I'm kind of cool with that. It's all good, but he is thinking on the 6K. I do believe I know he has a Virgo, so he didn't have to take that, but he does take it, so hey, I'll be happy with that. That means next turn, if we want to swing with Ezo, we can. We still don't really have many great plays for next turn, outside of maybe playing just a ton of Corazones, but against Sakazuki, that doesn't sound like the best idea, but maybe we will. He's going to trade his Tashigi into my Bonnie. I've just been ignoring the Tashigis. I know they've attacked a couple times, but don't want to waste my leader effect on just these little 2K bodies. Even if he's swinging at me with them, I don't really mind. He hasn't really swung at me much, honestly. I'm still at 3 life. I don't think I've countered much, so I'd say we're in a pretty solid spot. No 8-drop kid, but 8-drop kid is still pretty meh against Sakazuki. You know, there's numerous outs to 8-drop, but we have the 10-drop. So if we can just apply enough pressure and have a good timing for our 10-drop, we should be looking pretty good. He's just going to attack me for 5, which is kind of rude, but I will take the 5K. If he wants to commit a bunch on Hina, that's fine, but taking that life did give us our 8-drop kid, which will be just another annoying thing for him to have to deal with. He'll probably have the out to it, but he'll probably have to spend like 2 cards on it, maybe 3, so that sounds good to me. That's less cards for him to counter out of my leader. But Tashigi going in after he Hound Blazes my Ezo. We get an Onami trigger, yes sir. Yeah, we still got some yellow cards. That's the only yellow card we play, and that's the exact reason we play it, because its trigger is broken and its on play is broken. That card is a bit crazy. And we get another one. And if you're wondering why I took that, it's because I have 8-drop Kid. And I was like, he's going to spend a bunch of Dawn to out my 8-drop Kid, and I will still be able to counter out. And I will hopefully be able to like safely 10-drop Dofi. That was my mentality here. It's still going to be kind of annoying because I have the Core Zone, so he needs probably like a bottom deck, like a Houndblaze or something, or the Murakumo. Murakumo would be really solid if he has it. But we'll see. His board is not very scary at all. Definitely cannot swing into this kid with leader and just 2 1-drops. So yeah, we can thank the double Onami triggers there. That was pretty ridiculous, but we take those. We take those. You know, it wasn't that impactful, right? It was just a Rebecca. I guess the Hina probably mattered a bit more. But if anything, we put a Hina in graveyard for him for his next Rebecca. You know, it's not that bad. It's just less bodies for me to deal with. But he's going to play down his 3rd Tashigi. I think he trashed another one, so he saw all 4 Tashigis this game. Picks up the Murakumo, so does have an out to the 8-drop if he can actually reduce it to 2 cost. So looking a little bit scary, but again, we should be able to live. Unless he has Ice Age, then it's pretty scary, because he can Ice Age the kid, just attack with leader, bottom it. Nah, we'd still live. He'd need to also be able to reduce the Rosinante. But he's gonna Rebecca, grab Hina, play Hina, -4 to the kid. So then he needs a Great Eruption or an Ice Age. Ice Age would obviously be better because it'd put Kid down to a 0 cost. Then he can Murakumo the Rosinante and the Kid. So that would be really, really good. But does not do that. Attacks for 5 with Sakazuki. Reduces the Kid 1 more time. And he still has 4 Dawn. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't remember if he cycled this turn or not. I think he did. I think. Maybe he just played Hina. Or not Hina, Tashigi, sorry. He actually scoops it up. He does not have another way to out the Kid. Interesting. We take those, I guess. He must have cycled if he's scooping there. I don't know why he did all that if he didn't have the out to the Kid. Maybe he just calculated wrong or something. I don't know. But anyways, we're against a Z, or a Z, however you want to call him, Zephyr. Got a couple names. This matchup, like, genuinely surprised me that this deck seemed like it did pretty solid into Yamato. Plays a lot of, like, the little blockers. I know there's the new, what's his name, Shiki? Yeah, there's a new Shiki blocker, which seemed pretty solid. Yeah, so we'll get to check out those new cards in a little bit. But this turn, I'm just attacking for 9. That was pretty nice. He kind of just left himself open there. But that's all good. This turn will probably get a blocker or 2 down, and we'll be back to probably just swinging baseline and maybe getting down some blockers to prepare for our 8-drop turn. He's going to swing with his brand new, which is always a bit annoying, but I just take it because I'm like, whatever. If anything, I'll drop a 1k on the leader swing. Also, taking that means that, like, if he, like, commits a bit more with leader, he might not play a blocker, and that just might let me attack for, like, 11, or play the Onami and attack for 9 again. So, yeah. But still gets the Borsellino down, which is good for him. I think I'm just, gonna swing 9, and hopefully that'll just absorb the Borsellino. I can hope. I'm not worried about dying. I know next turn I'll have 8-drop Kid, and that's another thing he'll have to deal with. So that'll be cool. I'm not sure exactly what Zed really plays. We'll see. He does block with the Borsellino and counter for 4, 2 2Ks. We whiff off our Bonnie, which is always sad, but we play 2 engines. It's gonna happen sometimes. He's gonna trade the brand new into the Bonnie. We'll probably just eat a 5k, or maybe a bigger swing from leader. I don't know. We'll probably just take whatever it is. He plays Shiki, and then Yeah, it's just a chump blocker, and it does something if you have 8 or more Dawn. I mean, I didn't get to see it. Hopefully I hover over the card again, but just having chump blockers against Yamato is always good. You know, slows down the aggression. You don't feel too bad about just sacking them off, unlike maybe Borsalino or something. But actually just attacks for 9 with leader, which, yeah, that's okay. I'll eat it. I'm okay with going down to 2. I kind of expect this 8-drop to get outed because, you know, Z usually does play, like 10-drop Kuzan, which is going to be scary, and he did choose to go second, so yeah, he has the 10-drop Kuzan. Pops the Rosinante, and then he can swing with leader and out the 8-drop Kid. See, at this point in the game, I'm like, man, I think I just lose. Like, what do I do into a 10-drop Kuzan? Play another 8-drop Kid and make him pop it again? I mean, sure. I thought about, you know, playing like Hody, and I'm like, I just die if I play Hody. Like, I'm not killing him unless he has no counter. So yeah, I think I ended up just choosing to play 8-drop Kid. I was like, maybe it'll stall me another turn. He'll definitely have the way to out it, but at least I'll waste leader attack, right? That's the mentality. We're going to attack for 7. This could be met with a numerous amount of things, either Borsalino plus a 2k, just the chump blocker. Goes with the chump blocker, that's chill. We'll play Kid, play out the Monet off of his effect and pass. If he for some reason lets the Monet rock, I can tap Borsalino and, you know, maybe put him down to 0. But, you know, this kid is definitely just going to get outed again by leader effect, so it'd be like that. He is on 8 Dawn though, and if he keeps using leader effect, he'll be what? On like 6 Dawn the following turn. So I guess it kind of ups our survivability a little bit because he'll have less Dawn to attack us with, but he still does have just straight up a 10k body on board. So yeah, still not looking the best. He's going to play Punk Vice, which taps my Monet, and then I think he ramps one, so that's pretty good. He was about to swing brand new into the Monet. You still can't do that. My 8-drop is still there. You must attack with your leader. I mean, he could do that. I mean, that's kind of weird, right? Do I counter it? I can't even counter this. I just have to let it go. That feels bad. But hey, I mean, I guess Kid kind of got his value. He's just a big blocker. Yeah, we'll take that. An 8 at 10k hit instead of just whatever his leader would have been. Kind of weird. I don't think that was correct, but he probably just didn't want to minus more Dawn, which I guess is fair. But he'll play a Reiju, draw 2, and then just pass it back to me. Also, Reiju is another pretty cool card in this deck, I think. Not a lot of little things that like Z kind of picked up, and you know, throughout these new sets. Punk Vice is another new card that I don't see many purple decks playing, but look at that. We baited him with the 5k swing, and now we get to freeze his Borsalino. So we kind of forcing him to play another blocker this turn. Yeah, we're just gonna hope. He can definitely, I assume, gonna out this this Dofi. Maybe not though. I don't know how much like actual removal Z usually plays. You know, like he always has his leader, sure, but does he have? What else would he have? Does he play Lucci? He definitely could play Lucci. Might not have it though. And right now Lucci doesn't pop 10-drop, so I mean, we're looking kind of okay right now. Just a little bit. He's just gonna play a Shiki. Is he just gonna pass, or is he gonna sack off maybe the brand new? He trashes the Lucci off the Shiki. Okay, I guess Shiki is a draw 1, trash 1 when you have 8 or more Dawn. I think that's what I read earlier. Then he's gonna play a Sabo. Okay. So he did have the Lucci, but did not have another way to reduce my 10-drop, I guess. So, I mean, hey, we take those. We're probably just going to 10-drop again, which I know is, like, scary, but we just have to act confident, you know? Like, we can definitely counter out of this if you go for game. Or, you know, Onami trigger. That could stop it as well. But, or Punk Gibson. You know, we got a couple triggers that could be threatening, and you might not want to risk it on the 2 attacks he'd have, right? He'd have 3 attacks. Well, unless we clear something. But we probably won't because he's a chump blocker. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. But I think it's just, again, I could Hody, which is kind of scary, but we're gonna just attack for 5 at Reiju. We're gonna try to be non-committal. Sadly, he counters out of that. I really wanted him to either tap the Sabo or just let it go, because now I know my 10-drop swing is just gonna get wasted on a chump blocker. But I mean, what am I supposed to do? We're gonna play another 10-drop, freeze leader again, Kuzan and the Borsalino, and now he has a choice to try to divide up his Dawn with Reiju and Sabo and just try to go for game, or he could continue playing it safe. He plays a greater option, so I feel like he's gonna play it safe, which means I live another turn. Gotta be happy at that. Just attacks me for 5. Yeah, we're alive. I feel like he maybe should have just YOLO'd it, but again, there are some scary triggers in my life, potentially. But he plays Lucci, and what can he even pop here? I don't think he can pop anything. Yeah, I have a 3 cost and a 5 cost. I don't know why he did that. Did he forget to play reduction or something? Maybe. Not sure. But plays the Reiju. Maybe just, I don't know. I don't know why he did that, honestly. Just establish another attacker, get a card out of hand for his Reiju. That's the only thing I can think of. But we're playing Hody. We're going in. We don't have a choice. We've somehow lived this long. We'll attack for 8. He immediately gets out of it. I'm like, damn, I probably lose this. We'll attack for 8 with Hody because he just dropped 2 2Ks. He takes. I'm like, alright, go 10. And then the last attack will just be 12. He takes the 10. Gets a Punk Vice trigger, which, yeah, just ramps it on. Probably should have just kept it in hand to scare me having more cards in hand, but I was committed. He literally has 0 counter in hand past those 2 2Ks, and we somehow win that game. I feel like I definitely should have died when he had the Sabo and the Reiju. But again, I understand not going for game there. You know, it's a little bit scary into a yellow leader, but he did see most of my deck was green. But I think, did I have an Onami trigger? I don't think so. I think that was the other game. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I've been having a ton of fun playing Yamato and Reiju, and probably be more videos on them until we get to March and we have OP06, and there'll still be more videos on them because I'll be playing them in person. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.